Hi, Kia listeners. Let's Learn Sumo. I'm Clayton. Welcome to the podcast. Don't forget to join me on Instagram or X at Let's Learn Sumo. You can also listen to the podcast on YouTube. You can search either Let's Learn Sumo or at NHK Sumo. Don't talk about that. And join me also on occasion on Sunday morning Sumo live stream with Goose when I give JJ a break as he's in Canada. It's about 3 a.m. when he does the the live stream. As we did tonight, it was a really good night of Sumo, day 9, and it's clear Terunofuji is in pretty good form. It keeps his 2-win lead with another testing bout. This time it was against the threshing machine, our Komusubi Daisho, who was formerly our Sekiwake. Daisho came into this fight needing some wins. He's 4 wins, 4 losses. Our Yokozuna sitting pretty so far at 9 wins and no losses. He got his Kachikoshi winning record last night and seems so far in total control of this basho. The only question we always ask is whether his body can sustain the 15 days. Well, let's remember he won the basho only just back in January, and he did that in fairly convincing form, and we'll talk about that a bit later, I think. We're on track for a U-show here. The question is really only now how much by. Look, this pair, Daisho and Terunofuji, they last met over 2 years ago. The last two were Fusen wins for Daisho. So a fairly even record of 8 and 7. Daisho, he's always got a chance to win this battle, however unlikely at the moment. Daisho, being the threshing Supari thrusting Rikishi we know, was always going to try and keep the Yokozuna away from him. Terunofuji tried hard from the tachiai to get hold of Daisho's arms, get in close. Daisho, he wanted nothing to do with it. He got the thrusting going as soon as possible from the start. Daisho, he had the impertinence to go for a big Nodowa thrust on the Yokozuna, a big neck thrust, as Terunofuji moved backwards and around the bales at that pressure. Terunofuji started to push again. He looked to go in for a belt grip as Daisho did everything to keep him off, dancing back and around the bales himself. Another meeting, and Terunofuji, he got a side shove, which caused Daisho to do a full pirouette, but Terunofuji didn't chase him, and mostly because the Yokozuna just doesn't have that sort of speed across the ring anymore. His strength is his defensive moves, his incredible balance under pressure, and his huge strength. And Midori Fuji style pace is not what we see from the Yokozuna at this stage. Anyway, again, Terunofuji, he was trying to get in close again, and Daisho was doing everything with his hands and feet to keep him off. Daisho goes in, but he withdrew back to the bales, trying to avoid another one of those arm lockups. And as he did, he tried to go around the Yokozuna, but that slippery Nagoya dohyo clay finally got him as he slipped and went down forward. It was really more of Daisho slipping than Terunofuji helping him down. That gave Terunofuji 9 wins, no losses, 5 and 4 for Daisho. Moving on, Takakesho, he made incredibly short work of Mitakayumi, effecting a clean and fast drive on the former Ozeki. Takakesho makes his way to 4 wins, Mitakayumi on 3. Look, it's clear Takakesho's still got plenty of thrust left. He's still in this game as a functioning Ozeki. Got to respect him for that. Hirodumi, he made a fairly unusual choice to go straight to the front of Kotozakura's belt for a grip battle. Now, given what he's been trying lately, which is this high energy, high movement threshing that Daisho does, and very successfully, he got his left hand on that belt of Kotozakura. He tried hard to pull Kotozakura low. Kotozakura attacked and pushed Hirodumi back, at the same time using his body to lift Hirodumi's centre of gravity, and Yorikiri'd him over the bales. Look, you can see what he was trying to do. He was trying to get Kotozakura low. It was not an awful plan. Unfortunately, he just couldn't follow it through. It just didn't quite execute what he wanted. Kotozakura in that leading or that chasing pack on 7 wins, 2 behind the Yokozuna waiting to pounce. Hirodumi doing okay in that Komusubi meat grinder position. He's on 5. Hashoryu, Henka Hashoryu. Look, it was officially an Iwata Dashinage open belt throw, but it was a Henka. Given Tobizaru, he's a fast-charging Chaos agent. It wasn't a bad plan. Is it Ozeki worthy? Well, ask Takakosho, who won last year's Basho in September, doing a big hanker on Atami Fuji. So to be fair, Hoshoryu didn't avoid Tobizaru entirely, and he did get an arm around Tobizaru's neck. Then he grabbed the rear of Tobizaru's belt and helped him over the bales, and that's why they gave it Watadashe Nage. 6 wins for Hoshoryu, 4 for Tobizaru. Kirishima, he kept his hopes of 10 wins alive with a somewhat nervous win over Meisei. Meisei tried hard to get inside early off that Tachiai. Kirishima nearly fell foul of the slippery surface in Nagoya, but Kirishima finally got a hand on Meisei's belt and just drove him straight back out. 5 wins for Kirishima, most importantly. Meisei 2 wins. Ura up against Shodai. Ura gave it a red hot go against a thrusting Shodai, going low as usual. Ura kept up the pressure on Arby back to the bales. Shodai goes hard. Ura pulled him through, but Arby somehow stayed up. Ura drove hard and low as Arby was off balance, but as he attacks, I just think he was a little bit too low, and he gave Arby a chance for the Hataki Komi slapdown. I think that low charging nature is sometimes a bit of a disadvantage for Ura, and maybe his coach needs to have a look at that. I did come away thinking, how did he lose that? Anyway, Arby 5 wins, Ura on 3. Goniyama, he easily dispatched Onosato by a decent Nodowa neck thrust. A little bit too easy there. 3 wins for Goniyama, 5 for Onosato. Atami Fuji showed his belt grip and strength credentials. A decent win over Shonanumi, a very large and powerful wrestler. Both got a hand on the belt, but they ended up having a bit of a battle for dominance with that second hand. Shonanumi was holding Atami's right hand as they struggled for a short while. Atami Fuji tried to lock up Shonanumi's arms. He tried to go for that Terunofuji double lock, but he kept changing his mind there for a moment, looking for a belt or trying to lock up to defend. I think he decided that locking up that arm was a better idea in the end, and I think it was too, because what that allowed him to do was to hold his arm, use his body strength to lift Shonanumi to a more standing position, and force the Yorakiri frontal force out. Really good win there, and it showed Atami's strength and tactical improvement. He's gaining a lot more confidence in that position. Atami Fuji on 5 wins, and Atami Fuji on 4, Shonanumi on 5 wins. Moving on, where were we? Takanosho, he didn't give Wakamoto Haru any sort of chance. 2 decent Nodowa neck thrusts, which Wakamoto Haru could not recover from. Oshidashi, Wakamoto Haru in a bit of trouble now. 4 wins. Takanosho on 6. Now remember, Wakamoto Haru, he's down on Megashira 2. He wants to get himself back up to Sekiwake. Look, he is a Sekiwake quality wrestler. His injuries have just really forced him into a bad position and dropped him down that Bunske, and he's just struggling to get himself back into form, and it's showing with only 4 wins after 9 days. Oho got a decent touchy eye, but Shodai, he seemed to hesitate against Oho at that touchy eye. Oho got a really good strength pushback on Shodai, got his right hand onto Shodai's belt. Shodai tried for a bit of an upper body grip, but he ended up a bit shallow there. And as they moved around the ring, danced across the bale, Shodai tried to turn Oho over Kotanage arm lock, but it was all a bit too late. He was forced out and off into the crowd he went, and Oho went down frontwards. Yorakiri, 6 wins all for those guys. Oshidashi is not the word you would normally look for from a Midori Fuji win, but there you go. Good tactics against a much taller Kotoshoho there for Midori Fuji. He missed that front belt as Kotoshoho tried to Hataki Komi him, but Midori Fuji just somehow, he stayed up. They locked up, and Midori Fuji got his right hand under Kotoshoho's left armpit. Now, if I was Kotoshoho, I would have been very nervous about that. He has lost to Midori Fuji by Karasakashi previously, as a lot of wrestlers have done. He kept him low, and As he was pulling him low, Kota Shoho tried to lift and roll him over, but Midori Fuji really quickly disengaged. It's one of his big defenses and offenses, really, where he disengages in a really big hurry, gets the other wrestler off balance as he did this time, and Kota Shoho was kind of leaning over off balance. Midori Fuji got around the side and finished him off. Oshidashi. As I said, not a word you normally associate with Midori Fuji, who took himself to 6 wins, 5 for Kota Shoho. Easy Oshidashi win for Takara Fuji over Sadanumi, 3 wins apiece there. Tamawashi took Ryuden out Oshidashi from the Tachiai, easy does it. 5 for Tamawashi and 2 for Ryuden. Wakataka Kage, 6 wins with a win over Kinbozan. It was half a hanker, hit and shift. Depends how you look at it. By Wakataka Kage, he got a left belt grip. They had a bit of a stalemate as they ended up in the middle. Tried for a bit of dominance with the left hand of Kinbozan, the right hand of Wakataka Kage. Kinbozan tried for the lift. But Wakataka Kage took advantage with that left belt grip, got a decent shove on Kinbozan's head as he pulled him around and Oshidashi's him out of the ring. 6 for Wakataka, 3 for Kinbozan. Endo notched up his 5th win over Oshoma. Ichi Yamamoto took a 5th win over Hokuto Fuji. Nishikigi finally got his first win with a decent Shitatanage belt throw over Bushozan. Chironumi, now he's pretty much guaranteed himself a trip up the ranks very soon, taking his 7th win. Shitatanage belt throw over the returned Chiyoshima. Kagayaki and Nishiki Fuji, they also took wins as well. So tomorrow night, the headline match, Kirishima in the bull ring with Yokozuna Terunofuji. Look, that should be a really interesting affair after their last meeting ended with Kirishima being totally yeeted from the ring contemptuously by the Yokozuna Terunofuji back in January. That didn't do Kirishima's confidence any good, and to be blunt, he has not recovered from that loss, in my opinion, since January. That was the start of his real problems in terms of both injury and confidence. It has fallen apart. I'd really like to see Kirishima just get a win up over the Yokozuna. Maybe not a big win, but I'll take any win at this stage. Onosato and Kotozakura, that should be a good fight. Onosato's just lost a little bit in the last few days, so I'll be interested to see. I think he was very disappointed to lose the way he did today to Gonayama. The race is still on. Look for a battle of strength between Hoshoryu and Shonanumi. And Ura will be up against the very strong Oho. Daisho will be up against Atami Fuji. Hirodumi, our man of the moment, he's up against Wakamoto Haru. I would think Hirodumi might win that one tomorrow. And really interesting fight coming. Wakataka Kage versus Midori Fuji down the list. I am looking forward to that one tomorrow. Should be a good one. So join me again when I come back to update you. It's turning into a fascinating U show. Hakio listeners, let's learn sumo.